Okay, so now we're going to attach these two sides together, and we're going to use this dark blue angle to do it. And it's going to be a little bit tricky, but what we're going to do is we're going to bolt this dark blue angle on the back here. And this is going to be the back. And just to double check, the way the motors plug in, the little plugs on them, they should be facing the rear of your build. So what I find is the easiest way to do this, and this is kind of tricky, and if you have one of these tools, it's a lot easier because what you can do is put a nut in the end of it, and then you can, well, I'll show you. So what I'm going to do is I've got this set up, and I'm going to pinch this piece right where I want the bolts to go. And you can see all four holes are open, and I'm going to put a bolt through there and through there. Okay, now this is tricky, but I'm going to hold this and flip it over so that my bolts do not fall out. And you can see there those bolts are. Now I've got my nut in the end of this. I can just get it started and screw it down. There it is. There's one. Nut in there. Get that on the second one. And I'm not going to tighten these down yet. There we go. I'm going to do the other side. Okay. I'm going to make sure the holes line up. See that? They're lined up. I'm going to put the bolts through the bottom. And I'm holding them in place with my index finger on this hand. I got my finger right on them so they don't fall out, and then I can put these nuts on. And it's really important when you're threading these nuts on the bolts, you have to make sure that you have a finger on the head of the bolt on the other side so that it doesn't spin while you're trying to put the nut on. Okay, now I've got this connected, but it's not tight yet. And what I want to do is I want to kind of hold it like this, and they still wiggle. See that? What I want to do is press each side back against this blue rail. So I'm kind of squeezing like this. And what that will do is make sure that everything's lined up correctly. Then I'm going to look through these holes and make sure it's not crooked or anything. And once I've got that, I'm going to hold it and tighten down each side. I've got a finger on each nut on the underside so that I can tighten from the top. Same kind of thing. Here we go. My index finger is on the nut on the other side of this bolt here, and that keeps it from spinning so that I can tighten down from the top. Alright, here we go. Now I have my chassis unit together. All we have to do now is add the axles, the collars, the gears, and the wheels.